Hello, happy people. I hope you are having just an absolutely amazing day today. A couple of days ago, for about 15 minutes while I was driving to the local symphony in Gallipolis, Ohio, I was knocked out a short story by Clark Ashton Smith called The Emir's Wisdom. It's a 5-chapter short story. It's very, very fast. Like each of those chapters is a few pages long. It didn't take you that long for me to knock it out for you folks. It was published in a collection after he died, but it wasn't like something such. It doesn't really have a traditional sort of Clark Ashton Smith style of ending. It's not a surprise ending. You can see it coming and that sort of thing. He has a very unique style. This isn't even fantasy, or that he's known for with things like heavily influential on things like Castle Amber, or that sort of a thing. Or the Seven Gaseouses was heavily influential on early Dungeons and Dragons in the 70s, 80s, or things like horror like his Cthulhu Mythos short stories, or even a science fiction like some of those things that we cover. It's just set during the Third Crusade. Alrighty, so he was early on in his era. He was known as one of the last great young poets over in the San Francisco area. He actually published a collection of his stuff early on that was heavily influential, put him on the map in a major way. Then he would write a lot of prose poems too. This I found online on a website called Eldritch Dark, so I read it for you there. I'll link it to you there too, in case you're interested in checking it out too. Alright, so again, it's a fast read for you folks. So basically the idea in The Emir's Captive is that our main protagonist is the four-titled Emir. They have all the people here are we're seeing the point of view of the Muslims and that sort of thing. So basically what happened in the Second Crusade is that Robert from France was had met the Emir, who's now middle-aged, in battle, and a fair battle, and the Emir had won. And so he fled, and now he's sort of just looking for vengeance and to take it out, even though he lost honorably, and that sort of thing. And so the Emir believes that the best way to sort of deal with their his spite is just have him and his foe sort of meet in one-on-one solo combat. And we're to stop the Emir's men from being killed and that sort of thing. So that's sort of the basis of what's happening. And so Robert agrees to send his envoy back on that sort of a thing. So he sends his son as a son of trust. His son is held as a captive by Robert instead, and then he flees after summoning his horse. And the horses from the Arabs are faster than Western European horses, so he's able to get home. But their bows are longer. And so he is hit on the way back and badly wounded, and then delivers a message, passes out, and now one of the local doctors will be taken care of, and that sort of thing. So that's about 4 or 5 pages in. What happens with the son? What will happen with Robert and the Emir, and that sort of thing. We'll find out later. But there you are. So basically, that idea is good stuff. I like it a lot, but it's not exactly the best written ending. Like I said before, it's not even surprising that you can see coming, or a typical darker Clark Ashton Smith ending. It's just what you would expect from a historical. So I'd say this genre is more sword and sandal, since it's set back in the past, but there's no fantasy aspect to it at all. But there you are. So I'm probably I'm thinking I'm between a 6.5 and a 7. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with for you folks. So let's go with 6.5 for you folks, because the ending was fine. But it wasn't a surprise. It wasn't expected. It wasn't nothing like that. It just was, right? And that sort of thing. But it's a fast little diversion if that's something that you like. So that's the Emir's Couch of 6.5 out of 7 for you folks. That's 6.5 out of 7. 6.5 out of 10. Alrighty. there you are. Have you read this? And so what did you think about it? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. As a reminder, I try to do, I'm not a trained critic, right? I didn't study English in college either. I was a political science major. So your opinion is going to be just as valid as mine is, right? I don't come from it. I'm just a fan, right? So your mileage may totally vary for you folks. But he was a big name back in the pulp-era. This was published posthumously. But in the early 2000s and that sort of thing. But yeah. But again, so let me know what your thoughts are, and if you think it's better or worse than 6.5 out of 5. Just try to keep it spoiler free like mine did too, for the folks that might not have heard of it. Alrighty, so there you go. Alrighty, so if you like that, please those older things. I try to do 3 reviews of these older short stories in science fiction, fantasy, and horror that we cover, like I mentioned before, or this too. By major characters. Also, there's Ursula Gun things because she's big known. That weren't those owners were some Robert E. Howard boxing stuff from the pulp-era too, since he was an amateur boxer. So if you like that stuff, check it out. This channel. Do all the YouTube stuff, hit the like button, the subscribe button, just watch and share and such. And if you're feeling frisky, you can hit the bell icon to be notified of my 7 videos. Alrighty, so there you are. Alright, and then, as a reminder, this channel is named Worst Thing About the New Books. That's a quote by a French philosopher named Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old ones. And this is definitely spoiler stuff. Love it lots. Alright, so there you are. So if you like those older things, check them out. In our pursuit of the new books and the new movies, the new video game, we sometimes forget the better stuff that was. Not that they're bad, right? They aren't. None of those things are bad. But they stand on the shoulders of giants that we sometimes are familiar with, right? So that's a passion of the channel. Alright, so there you are. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your day and just, investing it and watching my videos, right? Because we all have so many things, right, that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate so very, very much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.